Check 1, 2. Playing some mellow music today. A little folky free. Folky free music. We have to use the free music because all the very famous rock stars are hoarding their music these days, you heard? If you use their music, they want more compensation. They want more and more. They don't want you to hear their music. They want you to pay them, motherfuckers. How dare you? How dare you want to be paid for your music? So this one's called After You. I picked from this YouTube when I have nothing, when I'm moving fast. I picked from this ridiculous list of free music. Mark Conte reporting. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. How the hell are you, man? Ooh. Today New York City opens. Wow, opens up. What does that mean? It opens up 25%. 25% of New York, according to Cuomo and such, that the Big Apple will enter phase 1 of reopening Monday. Hey, they did it, right? They did it amid the coronavirus pandemic, with retail shops set to start curbside or in-store pickup. Well, that's good. So retail should open up. Maybe they can pull the boards off their fucking stores, right? Of all crashed windows, right? How's that going to look? I'll get up there in a little while. It's early in the morning. Maybe like manufacturing too. Ooh, construction and manufacturing is back alive. Talk about that. What else we got? So all kinds of shit going on, man. All kinds of shit going on. We got Minneapolis City Police Council wants to disband the police. Oh, that's one for the rebels, right? The rebels, that means the rebels are winning. The rebels are winning by dismantling the police departments all across our great nation because we don't fucking need them anymore, right? They're just beating us up. Instead of beating up the bad guys, they're beating up the unbad guys because there's no guys to beat up. They run out of people to beat up, so they beat up the bad guys. Face masks. I found a piece that I've been trying to say it all along, that face masks, it's this face mask shit. As people re-enter, come out of their homes. You remember, don't kid yourself. Don't forget the fact that although we're now talking about riots and we're talking about police brutality and police reform, don't lose track of the fact that still 80, 85, 90, I don't know how many percent of the people in this country are still hiding, at least in the city. I take that back. People are still hiding out because they think they're going to catch coronavirus. They think they're going to get diseased. So as people start to come out, remember, I predicted that there would be clashes of people arguing and fighting and dissing each other and, demanding their 6 feet. And you're not wearing a mask, motherfucker. You're going to get me sick, right? All that crazy shit, right? All that crazy talk that Conte predicted. I say is, I still predict it. I still believe that that's what's going to happen, right? I don't think that the I don't think that the rioting is the bad word. I don't think that the protests, the George Floyd protests, had any effect on people's psyche. Maybe the young people are ready. Obviously, young people are not going to social distance. They're showing that. They're showing what they're doing at the protest. They're just wearing their masks and they're not touching each other. But what about the old people, the old terrified people, the old cunts, the old fucking dickheads that'd be, motherfucker, get away from me, I'm old, you're going to get me sick. What about those people? So we'll be looking for the clash. So those are some of what we're going to talk about. Good morning, everybody. Good morning in the chat. Pyramid 7 is here. Miss K. Harkview Cinema, JB, Vinny DiMartini on the wrench. Don't be a dick in the chat. You won't get timed out. Very, very little dickery lately, and I appreciate that. I appreciate for people not, taking cheap shots, taking cheap swipes. Use the money for food and shelter, says Pyramid 7. And Carol Hayes. Good morning. Carol Hayes is here. Good morning, Carol Hayes. If I missed you, that's your problem. No. Mike G, 75. Christine Nye. What's up, Christine? How are you, Christine? Christine Nye. So, good morning, everybody. Let's dive right in. So, Mark's Conte in the morning. Kindly become a Patreon of the channel. Got to do an advertisement. This is how we survive. This is how we keep the machine going. This is how independent media works today. It's funded by you. And the way you do that is you whack the tip jar through Patreon, PayPal, and you can make a one-time contribution through PayPal, or better, become a member by joining at Patreon, and they can throw you some free stickers and such. Right? So that's how we do it. Right? So kindly do that. Right? So become a Patreon. I'll send you some free stickers. That's a hell of an enthusiastic pitch. But let's get into the news, right? That's what you came here for, right? Came here for the news. Right? So let's start here. Some 80% of Americans say country out of control, poll finds. Wow. 80% of people think that the country is out of control. What's out of control mean? Let's find out. The newest NBC News Wall Street Journal poll posed the question, quote, when it comes to the country these days, do you generally feel that things in the country are, right, unquote, to which 80% of respondents choose out of control versus 15% who say things are under control. Wow. Now, is that figuratively? Oh, yeah, shit's out of control. It'll come back. Or is it so out of control that they don't think that things will fall back into place? That's, I guess, the question. That's the real question. But it is interesting that people would pick out of control 80% of the time. It's fascinating. The final year of President Trump's first term has been incredibly challenging. This is Fox reporting, so naturally they're going to be sympathetic to Trump. The final years of Trump's first term, final year, has been incredibly challenging, calling on him to handle the response to global coronavirus pandemic, as well as national protests following the death of George Floyd in police custody. As such, the poll covered several topics, including approval ratings over Trump's handling of the current crises and election preferences between Trump and Biden. So what else can we find out? Trump recorded a surprise victory last week when job numbers for May showed a drop rather than sharp increase, as many had predicted. I had predicted that they would rig the number again, and that's precisely what they do. If you believe the unemployment number in this country is 13%, you've got your head way up your ass. Right? If you believe that official number, you've got your head so far up your ass you could see out your mouth. That's how bad you are if you believe unemployment in this country is 13% and not more like 25 or 30%. But that's okay. Believe the number. You could also believe before this happened, unemployment was 3.2%. If you believe that number, your head was already up your ass, and now it's just further up your ass, sticking out your mouth. Because it's not true. It's factually incorrect numbers. It doesn't account for real unemployment in the country. So NBC poll surveyed 1,000 registered voters with a margin of error of plus or minus 3. That's a pretty big study, 1,000 people. Anyway, moving right along. So this is an interesting find. George Floyd protests continue in New York City as curfew stays in effect. So this is pretty fucked up, right? This guy threatens to burn down the Diamond District, right? The Diamond District is, I guess it's like the 30s and 40s on the east side of Manhattan, Midtown. Is this little district called the Diamond District. It used to be down on Chinatown. It used to be on Canal Street. But the Diamond District is a lot of Hasidic Jews. A lot of shit goes on there. A lot of times there's like stick-ups that happen in the Diamond District, and a lot of times they're fake, right? Where there'll be a bunch of Hasids with millions of dollars in diamonds, right? And all of a sudden, the FedEx guy will get in and stick the place up and get out, no problem, not a shot fired. Those are inside jobs. There's a lot of shady shit that goes on in the Diamond District, right? And that's there's plenty of evidence. But this guy said, I'm gonna go up to the Diamond District. It's not anti-Semitic. He just says I'm gonna go to the Diamond District because of the diamonds, not the Jews. And I'm gonna burn the motherfucker. He makes a gas reference. Listen.
Movement. It means a lot of things. It can mean free the people. It can mean for the people. It could also mean fire to property. And that's very possible. Tonight I'm leading a demonstration from Barclays Center at 6 p.m. to City Hall. And that's the first stop. And we're hoping de Blasio and Cuomo come out and talk to us and give the youth some direction. But if they don't, the next stop is the Diamond District. And gasoline, thanks to Trump, is awfully cheap.
Those are outrageous.
Wow, the next stop is the Diamond District, and thanks to Trump, gasoline is awfully cheap. That, my friend, is a direct threat. That is a direct threat. How did let's see, I didn't watch this. Let's see how Fox handles it.
Words to say basically that person was basically suggesting that they plan to go to the Diamond District, which is run basically by Orthodox Jews here.
Yeah, but to his defense, he never mentioned Jews. He just mentioned diamonds. All right, so let's get the story straight, Fox.
New York City. Certainly hope that is not the case, and we do not endorse or, in fact, we condemn that type of language here on the Fox News channel. Someone saying that certainly should be called out in terms of any type of potential threat.
Yeah, that was in my view. That's a direct threat. That's a direct threat. You're saying you're going to go from one. You're going to go try to meet the politicians, and if they don't talk to you and they don't meet with you, the next stop is the gas station and the Diamond District, where gas is cheap. That is a direct threat. It couldn't mean anything else. It's not. He's not saying that gas is cheap because we're going to drive up there because gas is cheap. He's saying he's going to use some gas. That's the essence of a Molotov cocktail. It's a bottle full of gas. You stick a towel in it, right? Am I giving instructions? No, I'm not. I'm just showing you. And then you light the thing on fire, and the gas spews all over the place. That's what a Molotov cocktail bomb is. And so that was pretty rude, right? It's fucked up, man. So this is great. Watch these two idiots. Watch these two looters, right? Thank you, Vinny DiMartini, for bringing this to my attention. This is hysterical, right? So these two kids are looting, right? They're looting. Oh, look how they're going to break the window. Bang! Oh, and this motherfucker hits him in the head with a brick. What a jerk. What a jerk. Knocked his friend unconscious, man. Watch it one more time. Watch. So two creeps creep up, right? Bang! And this guy... What an idiot, man. This is fucking stupid, man. Watch it one more time, man. Get a broken rib watching this shit. Watch. You stupid asses, you idiots. You fucking morons, right? So, let's talk about this. So, New York City reopens under Phase 1 on Monday. Phase 1. There's the Cuomo. Let's listen. Have we got any talk?
New York City reopens tomorrow. Today is day 99 of the COVID crisis.
It's a little low, sorry.
Of the unrest after the murder of George Floyd. Two separate issues, and we're working on both, and we'll talk about both of them On the reopening, tomorrow we're going to have a big day with the reopening of New York City. Also this week, we'll be taking up a reform agenda in the wake of the George Floyd.
That's interesting. The second thing he said, we're going to take up a reform agenda in the wake of George Floyd murder. So today is the opening. Today is Monday. This was from yesterday, and New York City is officially open. And that was just an interesting comment because in Minneapolis they're already disbanding the police. They've come to the city council has already voted on it by a wide margin. I think it was 12 members, 9 voted yes. So they got an unanimous consent to disband the police. Wow, the rebels won. The rebels are winning. That is systemic change occurring. Now, what is it going to look like? Is it going to look like? We'll talk more about that in a second. But let's look at the Big Apple reopening. The Big Apple will enter phase 1 of reopening Monday amid the coronavirus, with retail shops set to start curbside or in-store pickup service as construction and manufacturing rev up again. So those are 3 areas of opening. Retail shops. Wow. So anything that is considered retail could now open. Right? That means all of those stores that got boarded up can now pull the boards down and open up the store and start selling the junk that's been sitting in there for 3 months, the old stuff, right? All the high fashion is now, they're not even stocked. How are they going to open up? What are they going to do? They're going to sell winter coats when it's 95 degrees out? It doesn't even make sense, right? But they're going to start to peel. That's it. They're saying, okay, time to open, right? Did they get their checks? Did they get their seed money, their bailout? Fucking knows, man. I tried to get that. I didn't get shit. All right, reopen my ass. All right, I'm a business. All right. With retail shops set to start curbside or in-store pickup service as construction. So construction, manufacturing, and retail. We'll see what it looks like. I'll be out there today. See if some people pull the boards off of the fucking stores, right? I don't know if there's a rush hour, right? It's 9 a.m. It's about 9 o'clock in New York, so I don't know if there was a rush hour. I kind of missed that to see. But I'll get a feel. I'll go to, you know where I'll probably go? I'll probably go to the garment district where manufacturing is high. And, that's where they make clothes, right up by, I know where it is. It's on the west side-ish. West Side Midtown is a kind of, a lot of manufacturing goes on. I'll cruise through and see if I see any activity, right? So it's a big day for New York City, Governor Andrew Cuomo said Sunday, adding that the Big Apple has met all the health metrics, including the one involving its number of new infections, which dropped to 781 cases. Right? Fucking fake bullshit numbers. The city's subway should be at 95% of their pre-pandemic service. All right, so they're kicking the subway back up. That's good. This is important stuff, if you're not from New York, right? New York it's been paralyzed, right? It's been paralyzed for months, right? And now they're finally starting to peel away on Monday to help get people around, 95%. I don't know if that includes, they've been closed. They closed the subway from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. every day. I don't know if that's changed. I'll find out. Masks are required and will be handed out to strap hangers as needed, although ridership is expected to be no more than 15% of its usual level. Yeah, because it's a pompous pipe dream to think that people are just going to run back to the city. A lot of those businesses can't open. You're going to find out. Maybe manufacturing, certainly construction, because that's the billionaire class, the construction, fucking building skyscrapers and everything. But retail's wrecked. If you don't see any movement, right? It's open now. Now it's official that they can come back and start selling shit out the front door. Right? If they don't come back, right? That's devastatingly revealing. Right? So what else does it say? In addition to retail curbside service and in-store pickups and drop-offs, construction is allowed to resume, as is manufacturing, wholesale trade, in agriculture work under the state guidelines. What fucking agriculture work in a big city? Wholesale trade. All right, that's necessary. I mean, that's absolutely necessary. Wholesale trade. Retail industry groups have predicted a trickling of city businesses starting up again Monday as they begin to maneuver the new normal of social distancing and heightened health concerns amid the deadly pandemic. What other videos? I passed this 5 times already. This is on Prince Street and Worcester. Prince or Green, whatever the fuck street it is. It's one of those Soho streets. It's one below Houston on Prince. And there's quite a bit of this. You do see quite a bit of this outside kind of vibe where you can. I've been doing it all along. I've been, you can. I see a lot of people. Bars are opening up too, and people just standing out on the street having a beer or drinking. But they're also serving food where you can walk up to the window, order, and hang out outside, and then keep walking. Right. So it's street food. I like that. I like that idea. Right. Don't go inside. Just eat on the street. Eat on the street and drop your shit to the curb when you're done, right? Fucking the litter will stop coming back again. It'll look like New York again. Mayor Bill de Blasio said Sunday that he is still cautious about moving into phase 2, which would allow many workers to return to their offices, restaurants and bars to offer outside seated service, retail shops to operate in-store business, and other places such as hair salons to reopen, although at about 50% capacity. So phase 1 is what I just said it is. And phase 2, so when are they going to start phase 2? While phase 2 could occur as soon as 2 weeks from Monday or June 22nd, under the state guidelines, de Blasio repeated that he wasn't ready to commit to that date. Instead saying, think about beginning in July. What a jerk off, right? Why not stick to the plan? Why not stick to the plan? If the plan was to open up every 2 weeks, and that was supposed to happen 2 weeks ago, right? They should be already in phase 2 now, but they keep pushing it back because they want to sink the economy, the fucking idiots, right? I want to keep expectations low. All right, this guy's a clown. This guy's a clown, this de Blasio. If we don't like what we see, we are going to slow down the pace, he said, of reopening schedule. If we do like what we see, we might be able to go a little faster. It's too much control, too much power, too much nonsense, right? If you're going to call these shots, you better pay these people that you're not reopening, right? So New York's open. New York's open for business. Good morning, everybody in the chat. Good morning, good morning. Scandemic, yeah, it is. No doubt about it. I know a lot of around the country, a lot of places are open and unscathed and seemingly untouched. But this is, New York is it's paralyzed. To see how a big city is going to function again should be rather interesting. What else we got here? So bankruptcies. I told you, right? So while Cuomo is saying everybody should reopen, look at this. This is just the start. U.S. bankruptcies soar 48% in May, most since financial crisis. 48% bankruptcy. Wow. 48%. That's half. Half of all businesses. Am I right in saying that? This is the start. Bankruptcies soar. No, I'm not right to say that half of all businesses are bankrupt. But the bankruptcy rate has soared by 48%. Let's see what that means. Look at the spike up. 1 month ago, when showing the uncanny correlation between defaults and unemployment rates, we predicted that the number of Chapter 11, that's corporate, incorporated bankruptcy. Chapter 7, I believe. What is Chapter 7? Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Right, that's for individual. And Chapter 11 is for corporate and business, I believe. I believe that's how it works. So So Chapter 11 filings that is about to flood the U.S. will be nothing short of biblical. All that was missing was a catalyst, one which, according to Bloomberg, arrived in late May as retail landlords started sending out thousands of default notices to tenants, who in turn experienced a collapse in foot traffic, sales, and cash flow due to coronavirus 19 pandemic, and were simply unable to pay their debt obligations. So defaults are, the landlords are not yielding whatsoever to the retailers who have to pay their fucking rent and haven't made a dime. And some of those rents are unbelievable. Some of those rents, even if a business is closed for a few days, they fall behind on the ability to pay. The rents of $50,000, $80,000, $20,000. In Soho, a lot of those stores are just they're like big business cards. They're flagship stores in Manhattan, so that when people come to New York, they see that store, they shop there. Some of those stores operate at a loss, but they're designed to show people that their shit is in Soho, that we sell our stuff. We have a flagship store in Soho. And then they go home and they order that stuff online and they take a picture or whatever. They go in there. A lot of those stores operate at a loss. So the idea that they're going to come back with no tourists and no agenda, no business plan that says this is a good idea. Nothing in a business plan that would say keeping a retail store in Lower Manhattan when there's no traffic, no foot traffic whatsoever, is ridiculous. Why are retail going to open when there's nobody there? Right? Again, Manhattan is full of tourists. Without planes flying people in, without the hotels full, those stores don't function. Right? You get it? It's over. That's what I've been telling you all along. How does it rebound until everything is open and tourism is allowed to come back in? Unless the planes are flying people in from all over the country and all over the world, New York City is officially a ghost town. Now, that excites me in a sense because it means that the cultural boom, the cultural shift that I have been saying all along is what we need, is something that now opens up, because now you have you don't have these wealthy, expensive stores, but you have grassroots. You have the potential to use some of that space that was used for crap and open it up to maybe cultural events. Maybe, I don't know what that means. Things that involve music and things that involve, I don't know, activism. Things that involve people again, people interacting with people, not just spending money. Right? And it could also stem into nightclubs. It could stem into social gatherings, social kind of venues. I don't know, maybe exercise venues, maybe meditation venues where people are awakening in mass, right? That's what I'm talking about when you say cultural revolution, where young people are fed up. Right? Some of the best signs I've seen of young people in the protests is fuck the system. I've seen that one quite a bit. Eat the rich. I don't see that as much. I wish I would see more of that. But fuck the system. Right? Think about that. When you see a like a 19-year-old girl dressed in black and purple hair with a giant sign that says "fuck the system," think about that. Think about where you are in history right now. That is the young generation saying, "Fuck this shit. I'm fed up, man." That has nothing to do with no George Floyd. That has to do with fuck this system. That's pretty powerful. So anyway, an estimated $7.4 billion in rent for April hasn't been paid. so some crazy shit, man. So defaults all over the place. What else we got? Oh, this is an interesting. Thank you again, Vinny DiMartini, for bringing this to my attention. So Black Lives Matter, right? But up in Harlem, I believe this is in a black neighborhood, a colored neighborhood, where they keep the colored people. Right? Well, the colored people like to be together and next to each other. So in this neighborhood, right, allegedly or apparently a black store owner, a business owner, her store was trashed by blacks. So let's listen to her in her own words. Listen to her.
You said Black Lives Matter. I work here part-time. Plus, I'm a part owner of this store. You said Black Lives Matter. Why don't you choke me? I'm black.
Tell him, sister.
Look what you did to my store.
Tell him, sister.
Look what you did to my store.
Tell him, sister. That's right, because I got they back. These are my
Look.
dudes right here.
Look
Good
at the
men.
things you done.
Good men.
Look.
The Black Lives Matter.
We've been here all night cleaning up. All night.
It's hard to tell, Vinny. If you know where this is, I lost the clip from where I took it, but it looks like it could be Harlem. It could be. I don't know where it is, but I think it's believable anyway.
And you got black people standing right here with them. Black
Tell
people.
me,
That's right.
Black Lives Matter.
Exactly.
You lied. You wanted to loot in the store. You needed money. Get a job like I do. Stop stealing. This is the neighborhood. We trying to build it up, and you tearing it down.
It's free reign. There's nobody at the checkout. But this nigga just pulled a gun
Bronx,
out
thank you.
on not just me, but 5 other black females. And y'all sitting up here really pretending like y'all did this over black lives. A black man who looks like me, who should be out there protecting me, just pulled a gun out on me and 5 other sisters. So y'all tell me, keep lying to yourself, talking about this was about black lives. Just pulled a gun out on me because I'm out here trying to clean up. To clean up what?
It shows that the black community is not with the whole fucking white people screaming Black Lives Matter, right? Blacks are racist, man. There's a lot of animosity in blacks against whites. You gotta consider that too, right? It can't be a cosmic shift where all, you know what I mean? There's a lot of confusion in black neighborhoods about white people, and a lot of black confusion in white neighborhoods, right? And this is evident, right? It's not just because there's a bunch of hipsters swinging Black Lives Matter signs, everything goes away, right? And it is tragic that the looters made their way through the Bronx and bashed a small business. That's fucked up, right? That's not hitting the target, right? That's doing something else.
That's mine. Y'all so pro-black that y'all anti-black. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing about that, right? That's what I worry about. When the police came here, they ain't pull out no gun on me. But my brother did. Just pulled out a gun on us. Because we're trying to...
That's very interesting. That Canis Latrans. Bet Marcus never has been in Rikers. Talk big, but never had to shower in a jail. Well, you'd be wrong in saying that. I actually was stuck in Rikers Island for 10 days. I served 10 days once for jumping a turnstile, if you can imagine, right? In early 90s. For, again, you could read my book. I tell the story. So you would be wrong. You would be wrong that I've never seen the inside of Rikers Island, which is the largest jail in New York City, from the inside. And you would be wrong in saying that, because I have. And there I go.
Stop people from coming in the parking lot. We're trying to stop people from coming in the parking lot and creating more garbage. And this man just pulled a gun out on me. And 5 other females. So now I'm in my car. And I'm finna go home because at this end of the day, I feel hopeless and there's nothing that I can do. I'm picking up garbage and here goes some old black folks throwing some shit on the ground. Coming in the store, taking stuff and not helping, not asking who needs something. You pulled a gun out on me. That's what you did. You still did. And you pulled the gun out and y'all out here worried about these police officers.
I don't know what the hell we're watching, but it's fun.
Everybody is against us, including us.
They went straight to Office Max, the dollar store, and every store over here that I...
It's the same print, too. It's AG fucking CB, right? All cops are bastards. ACAB. It's the same tags.
go to. I have nowhere to go now. I have no way to get there because the buses aren't running. These
The buses are running, you liar.
people did this for no reason. It's not going to bring George back here. George is in a better place than we are. Last night, I'm going to be honest, I wish I...
She makes a great point. I mean, they all make a great point. It's like, why you're supposed to be Black Lives Matter. You go to a black neighborhood in the Bronx and you smash everything? What the fuck is wrong with you? What the hell is wrong with you? Get your shit together, angry white kids. Angry whites. Why are you breaking up the blacks? You're supposed to be supporting the blacks. Is that really what it's about, or is it really just about breaking something because it feels good, right? Is it? I don't know, man. But as it is, it's pretty good, right? So Minneapolis City Council announced plans to disband police department. Wow. I think this is the biggest victory the thugs or the rebels have made so far. I think this is the biggest ground they've made. So, members of Minneapolis City Council on Sunday announced plans to disband their embattled police department in the wake of a worldwide protest over the killing of George Floyd at the hands of cops. Whoa, what a statement. The City Council on Sunday announced plans to disband 9 council members who form a veto-proof majority committed to defunding the department and moving towards a community-based public safety model during a rally at the city's Powderhorn Park. Whoa, that is incredible, man. So they got a veto-proof majority. It's done. It's now passed. Will they actually do it? Well, that's always, city councils pass shit all the time. Does it ever get done? Not all the time. So the object is to keep the pressure, keep the boot, right? Radicals, listen up, rebels. Keep your boot on their throat. You've got the council members signed and sealed. Now, how long is it going to take before they, I like the idea. Right? Let the cops, all the angry, terrorist cops, the cops that were trained in terrorism to bash heads and fucking terrorize you and shake you down and throw you on the ground and search your anus for stuff. Right? All those cocksucking, really nasty, aggressive, violent cops, people that are violent by nature that want that job. Oh, you want to crack heads? Sign me up, man. I love to crack heads. I love it. Right? All those people, why don't you put them on put them on mask detail? Why don't you put them on the corner and they can hand out nice masks, or they can go knocking on doors and take surveys and shift them all into food stamps, right? Put them on the food stamps. Like let them sit by the phones, and they can issue food stamps and give benefits to people, right? Because that's really why they became cops. They became cops to help people, right? They wanted to fight crime and make the communities better. So shift them over to community service, right? Because that's why they joined up. They didn't join up because they were killers and murderers and cocksuckers that like to beat people up. That's not why they became cops and wielding guns and cracking heads. That's not why they became cops. That's just, that comes with the turf. They became cops, they said, to serve the community. So now shift all of those freeloading cops that don't have a job anymore and shift them into community service. Put them on the corner with white gloves and a white hat and say, "Excuse me, sir, is everything going well today for you? How's everything going?" Shift them into that, right? And if they don't like it, they could fucking quit. Right? That's what you do. So that's the way you handle it. It is clear that our system of policing is not keeping our community safe. Absolutely. Said Council President Lisa Bender, our efforts at incremental reform have failed. Yes. Our efforts at incremental reform have failed. Period. Yes. Incrementalism always fails. You've got to tear it down. But is there any incrementalism squeezing the bankers? No, they're right now they're in the process of squeezing out, mid-sized companies, bankrupting them. That's incrementalism. That's not even addressing the problem, right? While everybody's out there, fighting over racial justice, the banks are looting small business. It's our commitment to end policing as we know it and recreate systems of public safety that actually keep us safe. Why is that so? Why is that so obscene to listen to read? Right? It's our commitment to end policing as we know it, right? Because it doesn't work. It's cracking heads doesn't work, and recreate systems of public safety that actually keep us safe. You gotta love it, right? You gotta love it. In a statement, the council said it would be taking immediate steps towards ending the MPD, the Minneapolis Police Department, through the budget process. Ooh, defund. And other budget and policy decisions over the coming weeks and months. The 12-member body reportedly plans to begin voting on legislation targeting the department on Friday. Over the weekend, Bender and several of her colleagues expressed their intent to drastically change how public safety is upheld in the city. Bender told the Minneapolis Star-Tribune that she envisions replacing a traditional police department with a broader, more holistic public safety department geared toward violence prevention and community service. Social workers or medics could respond to situations once handled by police. Hey, there you go, right? You got a domestic dispute, and then you can say, oh, no. Well, look, the other thing is, the other problem, and I can see the problem already. People will say, oh, it's going to become violent again. It's going to become shady again, and the criminals are going to rule. Well, there is a possibility of that, and you know why? Because you have to bring back the Second Amendment. You have to bring back the right to bear arms. Because people are fucking criminals. These types of criminals, petty criminals, are cowards. And when someone has a gun on them, they're not going to engage, right? So, or suspected to have a gun on them. They're not law-abiding citizens carrying weaponry, defending themselves. And that is one of the fundamental problems in intercity stuff, right? Why can't people have, why aren't people allowed to protect themselves, the right to bear arms, right? So there is an argument to say, well, cities could never be safe without mass police because the bad guys have the weapons, right? That's always the case, right? So you've got to lessen. I say you've got to, the Second Amendment doesn't exist anymore in large cities, right? It doesn't exist, right? Open carry, right? And then you'll see the number of police and the number of armed citizens. You have to bring it back to balance. That's my thought on it, right? Without upholding the Second Amendment, you run the risk of widespread violence. You go back to violent New York City, people getting robbed and purse snatchers and carjackings and looting and burglary and so on, and murder, right? Assaults. So it's something to think about. Right? So here's another article. A police-free future. Minneapolis City Council votes to abolish police department. Decades of police reform efforts have proved that the Minneapolis Police Department cannot be reformed and will never be accountable for its actions. So disbanding it, that's what they're doing. We are here today to begin the process of ending the Minneapolis Police Department and creating new transformative models for cultivating safety. I'll leave it there because I think that this will be this is a revolutionary move right here. This is unprecedented in cities in any city across the country. Now the George Floyd thing happened in Minneapolis, so that's a good place to start. Let's see if they can do it. Let's see what it looks like. And will it transform the way policing is done in other cities like New York and LA and Chicago? We shall see. Right? It's a good example, a good template. So you got to salute him on that one. Right? What is this lady talking about? Let's listen.
The University of Minnesota has announced it will no longer use the Minneapolis Police Department to work security at football games and other large events following the death of George Floyd. The university president, Joan Gable, stating in a letter to students and faculty the announcement of, quote, immediate changes regarding our relationship with MPD, and saying, quote, I do not have the words to fully express my pain and anger And I know that many
So Major League sports events are banning the police. They're not going to use the police, right, for their security. They're going to handle, again, go back to nice police where that ask questions. Hi, is everything okay, right? Rather than get the fuck out of here. Keep 6 feet away from me or I'm going to crack your head, right? That bully bullshit, right? That's got to go. Right? The whole tone of the way policing is done. The rebels are winning. The rebels are winning. The rebels are winning. The rebels are winning. The rebels are winning? I think so. So, check this out. So, put on your face diaper, everybody. It's required in some places. Face masks for public during the COVID-19 crisis. This is an article that talks about how the wearing a face diaper is actually detrimental to your health and many other aspects of your being. And let's take a look at it because, again, there's going to be this big push by politicians and political types to say you must wear a face mask when they fail to look at the ramifications of their actions, the side effects of pushing people to do medical things that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You have no idea, very, very little idea of what you're talking about when you require someone to wear a surgical mask that is not going to surgery but is walking around the streets of New York City and wearing that mask for hours and days and putting it in their pocket and it's just totally unsanitary. You're constantly touching your face. It's a fucking mistake. Right? It's your hands. It's what you touch, and then you touch your face. And so you're walking around touching everything, and then you're adjusting your mask, and you're contaminating yourself. You're making yourself more sick, breathing in your own air. So let's listen to what the experts say. That's what I said. Well, let's listen to what the expert says. In the editorial to BMJ, I don't know what that means. Right. Let's listen. Let's just look at this. 2 potential side effects that have already been acknowledged are: 1, wearing a face mask may give a false sense of security and make people adapt a reduction in compliance with other infectious control measures, including social distancing and hand washing. Yeah, that's very true. People walk around, I got my face mask on, I'm safe. No, you're not. You're fucking not safe. You're doing it wrong. There's nothing in the air that you're supposed to be blocking. It's what you're touching. Excuse me. Number 2, inappropriate use of face mask. People must not touch their masks. You see people touching their masks all the time. They take it off, they stick it in their pocket. I do it. I do it because I don't touch anything else, right? It's my mask. I keep my hands clean. I always keep my hands clean. I walk around. If I touch something that I don't think is kosher, I will alcohol my hands on the spot, and I clean my hands. I wash my hands all the time while I'm walking around, right? And I try not to, I don't hold the pole on the subway, or I don't touch handrails or any of that shit. And if I do, I pull out the alcohol. That's way more effective than wearing a contaminated mask while you're touching everything. It's just a lack of understanding of what. It's a lack of understanding of germology or virology or how viruses spread or how germs spread. I worked in a hospital. I worked in a hospital twice, and nursing homes. So as a healthcare professional, and so I know these things. It's not. So anyway. So number 2, inappropriate use of face mask. People must not touch their masks, must change their single-use masks frequently or wash them regularly, dispose of them correctly, and adapt other management measures. Otherwise, their risks and those of others may increase. So there you go. So if you mishandle your mask, you're increasing your likelihood of getting an infection, if there even is one in the air. Other potential side effects that we must consider are 3. The quality and volume of speech between 2 people wearing masks is considerably compromised, and they may unconsciously come closer. While one may be trained to counter side effect number 1, this effect may be more difficult to tackle. there's two things in there, right? One is speech becomes more difficult because I walk around saying, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. All day long I say that to people. I say, what? Could you take, I can't understand what you're saying through your muzzle, right? I say it all day long. I find that when you talk to people, you do have to get a little closer to try to hear them because you're hearing them like this through a muzzle. Like it's fucking, it's not that severe, but it's like this. And you hear them because it's pressing against their face and they're not pushing the words out. It's affecting their goddamn speech. So you'll see that a lot of misunderstandings on the street is going to happen. 4. Wearing a mask makes the exhaled air go into your eyes. It really does. For me, wearing glasses, it fogs up my glasses. I can't wear. If I wear a surgical mask, 2 breaths, 3 breaths, and my glasses are fogged, I can't wear it. So I adapted just a little fake kind of covering, that it doesn't. You notice my volume doesn't change, my voice doesn't change because it's not real. I'm just draping. What I do is I just drape a little cloth across my face so people shut the fuck up and leave me alone. Right? If I walk into a store or I go on the subway, if I'm sitting on the subway, I got my little face covering, covering my chin or whatever it is, right? So people stay away from you, or they leave you alone. All right, so there's that. Wearing a face mask, the air goes into your eyeballs. This generates an uncomfortable feeling and an impulse to touch your eyes. If your hands are contaminated, you are infecting yourself. Yes. You wearing a mask, you'll touch your face 10 times more than not wearing a mask. All right? So you're increasing your risk of contamination by tenfold. Right? Keep your hands clean. If someone looks sick, which you're seeing very, very little of, you don't. For some reason, it's like sick people have been, deleted from the scene, right? People are not walking around coughing, and spitting and sneezing and right? A lot less. So what else? Face masks make breathing more difficult. Oh, they sure do. People are exercising with their masks on. For people with COPD, face masks are, in fact, intolerable to wear as they worsen their breathlessness. COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. People that have problems breathing or asthma or something, it makes it difficult. But for me, I can't wear it. I wear a mask 5 minutes. I'm like, I got to get out of here. I'm not going to do this. And I saw Cuomo, de Blasio, say that the police must wear masks. Oh, police, they're pissed off. They got to wear a diaper on their face, and now they're gonna pissed off, and they're gonna push you to wear it. That's what they're gonna do, man. I gotta wear it. You're gonna wear it. Right. Get rid of the police. Right? Defund the police. I love it. Young people, I love it. Moreover, a fraction of carbon dioxide previously exhaled is inhaled each respiratory cycle. Right? Carbon dioxide, you're breathing in your own bad air. Those two phenomena increase breathing frequency and deepness, and hence they increase the amount of inhaled and exhaled air. This may worsen the burden of COVID-19, and infected people wearing masks spread more contaminated air. This may also worsen the clinical condition of infected people if the enhanced breathing pushes the viral load down into their lungs. Why isn't Cuomo and de Blasio reading this shit when they say everybody should wear a mask? Are they not fucking competent? Are they not paying attention? Right? Pay attention. Right? You're dramatically increasing people's risks by touching their own face. It doesn't. There's nothing flying around in the air. God damn it. Right? Only in extreme cases, if you're in very, very close proximity with someone who's sick, then your risk goes up a little bit. And again, there's no evidence that it's even a fucking real phenomena. It's just a severe flu. Right? And for now, the flu is at bay. Number 6, While impending person-to-person transmission is key to limiting the outbreak, so far little importance has been given to the events taking place after a transmission has happened, when innate immunity plays a critical role. I don't know what the hell they're talking about there. That was a lot. The main purpose of the innate immune response is to immediately prevent the spread of the movement of foreign pathogens through the body. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. In conclusion, let's get the conclusion. In conclusion, we believe that the context of the current COVID-19 pandemic is very different from that of, quote, parachutes for jumping out of airplanes, in which the dynamic of harm and prevention are easy to define and even to quantify without the need of research studies. Well, that makes sense, right? So if you wear a parachute and you jump out of a plane, you have a 100% better chance of living than the guy without a parachute. That makes perfect sense. You could see that. But this business of saying the same thing about a mask, that if you wear a mask, you're safer, is factually incorrect, right? In which the dynamic of harm and prevention are easy to determine, even to quantify without a need of research. It is necessary to quantify the complex interactions that may well be operating between positive and negative effects of wearing surgical masks at population level. It is not time to act without evidence. It is not. So there's the scientific community speaking out. But will the politicians, this dumbasses, listen? No, because they're dumbasses, right? They don't care about it. It's not. So there's no evidence. Not a single piece of evidence that says that the populace wearing masks is a good thing. Not a single piece of evidence suggests that. But that's exactly what the populace is doing. All right. So one more piece. Bag holders. Holding the bag, getting caught holding the bag. Listen to this. Manhattan's 157 apartment prices plummet. Billionaires lose millions. So 157 is a large building on 57th Street with, the condos inside, $47 million, $30 million. You got a couple of $1 million laying around, you can get one of these apartments. But what they're saying is that a full floor apartment at 157, one of the flagships of Billionaire Row, just sold for $28 million about 6 years after it was initially purchased for $47 million. So should we feel sympathetic to the billionaires who buy condos for investments? No, not really. But this is almost an irrelevant price drop amongst billionaires. What is happening at the regular level, where residential rents have $1,200 rents gone down to $700, have corporates have commercial storefronts gone down from $50,000 to $12,000 or $500? We shall see. There's no evidence to suggest that, but this is an interesting article that says some billionaires got caught holding the bag. Billionaires lost a few million because they made investments where these property values have gone down, and significantly too, because from 47 million, instead of the price going up as an investment, because that's why they buy them. They don't buy them to lose money. To down to 28 million in 6 years is quite close to half. Well, they lost $20 million in one fucking move. That's the building. I've seen it many times. It's right on 57, the lower part of Manhattan. That's the Plaza Hotel right there, and such. So anyway, Marcus Conte reporting. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you very much for joining me. And we're going to get out on the street today. Marcus Conte reporting. What's up? Lee Veltman is here. Lee Veltman takes a lot of shit, man. He's one of those ex guys from the troll factory. Lee Veltman, right? Now I'll be insulted that I called him a troll. But he's in with the LARPers, right? And he takes a lot of shit. I see his name all over the place, man. Keep tough. Hang tough, Lee. Christian Lifetime, thank you for joining us. Sterling Price in the house. Head Swervels looking for what the fuck Vinny is. You guys are talking to yourself. I'm sorry. I'm jumping into your conversation. Hawkview Cinema. Cameo Miso. Weevil Boy. Good morning. Weevil Boy. Weevil Boy is not a boy. Oh my God. I gave it away, man. Weevil Boy is a chick. Weevil Boy is a chick. Did I just blow your cover? I'm sorry about that. I take it back. I take that back. Can I take it back? I can't take it back. Vanderloo. Bombs away, Renee. Bombs away, Renee. Bombs away, Renee. Bombs away, Renee. What's up, Buddha Girl? Buddha Girl is one of my favorite people in internet life. Good morning, Weevil. Good morning, Buddha Girl. All right, it's time to roll. It's time to roll. So I think we're doing good, man. I think we're doing good in this life. What do you think? What do you guys think, man? I don't know. Oh, man, I lost my shit. Oh, that's my shit. I'm trying to find my shit. So I think we're doing good in this life, right? I think that the young people are forging a path for us for police reform, and without police cracking heads, maybe we have a chance to inadvertently reform other things. Right? What's up, John Lee from Thailand? Swati Cup, Swati. I used to speak Thai. I used to speak Thai a long time ago. Can't speak it anymore, man. I forgot a lot of my shit, man. When you don't speak Thai, when you don't speak a language, you lose it. It's gone. Some eerie music, right? All right, everybody. Peace out.